My name is Derek Konishak.
My name's Gabriel Miller.
I'm Brandon Meeks.
I am Bill Bug.
I am Jacob Ebel here with the ForeverDMS. Bud is a cowardly little goblin. He will be a ranger who is just utterly enamored with his beast companion, who will be a dire possum by the name of Petunia. I had kind of trying to take a different little twist on the whole Beastmaster approach to this. Petunia will be the front runner of this duo. She is undoubtedly the brains of the operation. Bud is a bumbling idiot that is scared of everything, and Petunia will be, the driving force of the duo, undoubtedly. So it should be interesting to interact with everybody, with the primary creature being one that literally can't talk and that will have to be translated by Bud. So that should be a fun little exercise for the day.
Run, son of Karn. He is a very noble warrior. For those of you who are familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, Krun is a barbarian. He's a fighter. He charges into battle and rages. But the fun part about him is he thinks he is a noble samurai. So he will enter these meditative moments in life. And his attention span will be 2.5 seconds long. And his intelligence, his critical thinking skills are not exactly all there. So being able to bring a bit of just idiocy to the party, but Krun, he carries this big tree branch as his ancient noble weapon, ancestral blade. It's a tree branch. And he's going to swing it around. He thinks his father was this noble warrior. And as a bugbear, he is a kind of a lanky, lazy character with long arms. And so I'm excited to get into the physicality of him and get into his voice and be able to sit back and just make the most asinine comments throughout the process. For those of you familiar with Guardians of the Galaxy, Drax the Destroyer from the films is going to be a little bit of an influence in there, with the just absolutely no sarcasm or humor or anything. It's going to be wonderful.
I wanted to do something silly. I know when we first went into it, we're like, hey, let's play a group of goblins. Let's reverse the, flip it a little bit and reverse it to where the adventurers are the bad guys and the goblins are the heroes. And not just the anti-heroes, are actually out there doing something. And I said, you know what, I kind of want to play a charlatan goblin, someone that was like, it went a little further, and, this character popped in my head of a kobold that has somehow convinced the goblins that he's just some distant red-skinned cousin. And I picture him as this character that's just in witness protection, hiding out from something that he did in another tribe a long time ago. And then the Brooklyn accent came out, and I was like, hey, and I wanted to play a bard. I've been wanting to play a bard for a while, and it seemed like this would be a good opportunity to play one. And I was like, you know what, an insult comic bard sounds pretty fun. And then that just developed in the Brooklyn accent and everything to him being named Dice Clay.
My character for this session is called Grandemi Graka, and she is a druid, the midwife of this goblin tribe. So she has spent her life raising these goblins as they grow up, and she is so old and curmudgeonly right now, and I'm so looking forward to playing her because it's an experience that's a little out of my wheelhouse. I love to play characters that are eccentric and fun, and I can play to humor and drive the story in creative ways through my playing. So I'm excited to play Grandemi.
My character is, his name is Mad Max, and he insists that everyone calls him the Master of the Elements, because he is a Master of Elements, and he's very confused when people refuse to call him that. But he was a goblin. He went away at some point and was he tells people that he was a wizard's acolyte, but really he was just like doing all of the wizard's busy work, and he was just being used for menial labor basically. But during his time with the wizard, he attempted to learn everything he could about magic, and then eventually, through some events, he ends up stealing the wizard's spellbook and leaving. And so he has the spellbook, except he's not a wizard, he's a sorcerer. And so through either sheer willpower or stupidity, he has convinced himself that he can understand the spells in this book and that he can cast magic. But really what's happening is he's casting it through his blood origins, and as a goblin, those origins are very clouded and mixed. And so that's why I chose the wild mage subset of the sorcerer. So a lot of the magic that he produces just goes completely crazy. And he's not really sure why that happens because he's casting the spells as he knows them. But yeah, so that's I'm excited to play and to goof around with him for sure.
That since I will not be DMing in this one, I will only be playing Bud and Petunia. I am the one running the stream, doing the recording, handling all of the Twitch moderation and all of that. And that has been a very interesting learning curve over the past few weeks as we kind of prepped up for this. Hopefully it goes well. We'll see. We've done a couple test runs on the stream, and by this last one, things were looking pretty good with it. So hopefully it stays that way. But I look forward to the opportunity to, hopefully people will come and watch and, get something out of it, and having the opportunity to moderate the stream and interact with them here and there as we can. Obviously, we'll be playing the game, so I can't just stop what I'm doing all the time to respond to people. But, doing our best to do that. It'll be a lot of plates spinning in the air at one time. So it'll be a very interesting challenge from that perspective. But, hopefully what we've done and what we do here and the story that we can tell is interesting to people. And, as is the purpose of the event, we can get some traction on raising some money for kids that need it.
Really thinking about the time slot that I'm working with, the 4th time slot, which is everybody else is working with about 3 hours. We've determined that the last time slot's going to be 4 to fit in the finale. And about that time, I would have been playing about 12 hours straight. I'm hoping to work out a lot of animosity that I have towards other players. But the number one thing is I'm honestly I'm the lucky one through the aspect that I get to set through all the games leading up to this, and I get to change and make notes and whatever on the fly I want to during the day and adjust my story to fit with what you guys are doing. It's like I can cherry pick. It's like, ooh, I really like this NPC that Brandon did. Ooh, I really like this character that Derek's doing. I really like this idea that Gabriel brought in. And I'm coming in and I'm going to start like just taking notes the entire time I'm playing of what I want to take from you guys' game and bring into this one to kind of even it all out. But I wanted to really concentrate on classic themes of D&D with my final session. It's there may be a dungeon crawl, there may be some intrigue, there may be a secret curse you guys have got to figure out. It's just I'm trying to dip into a lot of the classic D&D tropes of rounding it out and finishing it up.